Open your eyes.
Beth sy'n really bwysig I fi a dwi'n meddwl I galwad ydy dathlu y Gymru gyfoes.
Wales, in 2022, are you listening?
Aml ddiwylliannol, aml ieithog.
This is a Welsh story told by an extraordinary number of Welsh creatives and communities. A huge diversity of perspective. And what that gives you a little bit of a glimpse of is actually what the future holds.
The future is here.
It's from Blaenau Festiniog down through Merthyr Tydfil to Swansea Bay.
The future isn't some kind of faraway place. The future actually starts this second, this minute, this hour.
It's so a moment, our chance to do something real, to change things.
We're creating the future with every single one of our actions. As a smaller country, we have the opportunity to be more forward-thinking, and you see that with something like the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act.
Wales has this remarkable piece of legislation, but it's not necessarily in the popular imagination. So we came together, a group of us, it was in the middle of COVID in 2020, and we began to think about how would you tell a story that would create an emotional connection to the future. We started this process with Alex McDowell, the incredible production designer behind Minority Report, to create future stories and future worlds.
I think everybody has the right to imagine their own future. With young people, is that is our future, the future that we are going to get to create.
Dyfodol yn rhywbeth da ni'n creu, a dim rhywbeth sy'n digwydd I fi.
We work with 120 world builders across Wales to imagine themselves in 30 years' time and what life would be like.
An incredible resource was built, for the team of writers, which they could sort of dive into for material and for characters. Exciting.
Yes, there are advances in technology that we show. Yes, there are considerable effects in terms of coastal erosion, flooding, for example. But it's about how that affects us as people.
Bore da. It's Wednesday, 28th September, and
the storytelling itself is off the scale. I think there's something in the region of 90 individual pieces of content, 15 film shorts, a 60-minute drama, a 90-minute live broadcast, 8 individual live stream performances, audio recordings from over 150 people across Wales, as well as stills and adverts and all sorts of things. So it's quite an exercise to bring all those things together.
Mae'n hollol arloesol, dwi'n meddwl, a dewr, hwnna ydy'r peth dwi'n dod nôl ato fa. Gweld beth yw'r proses rhwng celfyddyd byw, rhwng celfyddyd digidol, rhwng ffrydio, rhwng teledu, a sut mae'r sgiliau yna'n dod at ei gilydd I greu rhywbeth hollol newydd ac unigryw.
The story of Galwad unfolded in real time over 7 days. That real-time storytelling being a really important part of the premise of the project, which was what if the future made contact with us.
Hello?
Hey, Namita.
Rhian! People in 2022 have been hearing voices from 2052.
You had messages and information bleeding through on our social channels and online platforms, as if really from the future. And at the heart of the story, this lead character, Eva, who is the character that has swapped in from the future, her older self swapping back into 2022, and her younger self being propelled into the world of 2052. And the idea was to build over that week a sense of anticipation of what that future world would have to tell us.
This future is of your making.
We've got landed no island now. No end of climate refugees.
The future is now. Wake up.
And so Eva's final speech, where she finally reveals the future of Wales in 2052, is what all of those messages and monologues and information have been building to. What is coming over the horizon for us, and how will we react?
Mae diversity yn anhygoel a mor bwysig yn y prosiect yma. Dwi erioed wedi bod mewn unrhyw fath o prosiect, dy'r gymaint o cymunedau mewn un lle, a mae pawb wedi bod yn mor sensitif ac yn meddwl amdano needs pawb.
The diversity I just loved about it, I just was so excited about that because I'm very passionate about it. For a lot of the characters, everyone has lost something, and the journey that they go on trying to survive, that was really beautiful to me.
Mae yna gymaint o bethau newydd yn y prosiect yma. I fi yn bersonol, dwi'n teimlo fel bod fi wedi camu mewn I ffyrdd newydd o weithio, so bod hynna o ran yn prosesau ni.
We've got our sound crew that are live mixing in score and sound effects. We've got the camera crew who are doing immersive filmmaking, so the camera operator and DOP Bani Mendy is right in the middle of all of the action. We've got community cast and we've got professional young cast, we've got sign interpreters. So you've got all of that going on and choreography. People are doing amazing work. There are over 400 creatives bringing GALWAD to life. So within that, you've got new kinds of scoring and musical collaborations.
I think my favourite has been the collaborative nature of it. Being in a room of a lot of talented people it always makes you better.
I've been running circles in my head.
It's just so different to have like a concept kind of given to you and like fleshing it out is really rewarding and the perfect set of circumstances I think to be creative.
Mae lot o waith I wneud achos mae lot o gerddoriaeth rhwng yr elfennau I gyd. Lot fawr o sain, mae'r sain ar gyfer y sioe byw yn rili gymleth. Mae'n job eitha technegol I ni wneud pethau sy'n weddol arloesol, lot o bobl yn stretcho I hunain.
Mae'r job yn anodd I disgrifio, mae fel pennaeth pethau popeth gweledol sydd yn cynnwys lot o bethau. Fi'n gweithio'n agos ar y choreography, fi'n gweithio'n agos gyda Gethin, cyfarwyddwr, fi'n gweithio agos gyda cynllunydd, person elon sy'n gwneud y goleuo, so felly dros y prosiect I gyd.
This has been a real learning curve of collaborating. It's just one of those projects that's never really been done before. A sort of weird mix between theatre and film, and I think that theatre should take a little bit from film and film should take a little bit from theatre. Hopefully there'll be like more projects like this in the future.
Y dychmygu y gweledigaeth. The belief that things can be done differently.
Something's happened. It's crazy. It must be crazy.
I kind of thrive off challenges. So I really wanted to serve the big story in the project, but also really go into the minutiae of understanding what it is to communicate through signing and how does a father communicate with a son who's grown up signing.
Too often people kind of scaffold things on at the end. Oh, let's put some access on for the disabled. And I really wanted to be inclusive, a transmedia project that is working across so many different platforms, putting access creatively at the heart of a project right from the beginning.
This kind of approach has been a really brilliant journey for everybody. What's been really interesting is applying those personalised approaches and then translating that into scale.
Radical inclusion on this project has been really, really important, but it's also been a new challenge I've never faced. Working with people who have so many different accessibility needs. I've never worked on a project where you're telling stories through so many different forms of media, so many different casts, so many different locations, and that's really cool.
I'm particularly proud to have seen the number of women who are in production roles in this project. And what we've tried to do throughout is to really think, how do we unlock opportunities for people to work in roles they've never had the chance to work in before?
I manage our production team here. It's been a really exciting opportunity. I feel really proud in terms of
both being a Welsh speaker and a woman and kind of able to represent GALWAD as a woman in this position is really exciting. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to apply.
A project of this nature would feel like a pretty hollow project if it didn't have young people at its core. So the idea behind Young Company was to bring together a group of people aged 18 to 25 to kind of help shape and influence and deliver the project.
So I've predominantly been shadowing the access and inclusion team and looking at how we can make GALWAD as accessible as possible to as many people as possible.
I've sort of been working on like creating the set, being able to take my own we were allowed to take our own creative lead with stuff, which I didn't expect.
The way we understand these huge projects is about how many people does it touch, how many people can contribute and shape to that thing. If we want to change the stories that are told, we have to change the tellers of those tales.
2052, I hope that the term radical inclusion does not exist, because we'll just be doing it.
It's just nice to see that there's people like you in the media and in TV, and it helps, I guess, the younger generation aim high as well.
Mae'r dyfodol yma achos bod chi yma.
So writers and artists are extremely good at holding a mirror to help us look at ourselves and our values and our principles. Right now, we need stories like this.
But I genuinely feel that we are creating some blueprints for future forms of storytelling.
Is it about that? Seeing the truth of now through the eyes of those living 11,000 sunrises from now.
It was really unexpected how deeply the stories of GALWAD connected with me. That was my story being reflected back to me. And I think that was something I heard from lots of the young people that were involved, is for once they saw their stories reflected back to them in a way that they could connect with on that deeper level.
Because isn't that what we need? To peel away the obscuring present, to forge our identities, not through our relationship with the past, but in our relationship to the future, who we will be, who we could be.
You